guys.
Hi guys.
Welcome to this week's video. I'm Laura.
I'm Carlos.
And this is our journey on Pico Island, and we're so excited to have you guys with us. Those of you who joined our live stream last week, we had so much fun doing it.
Yeah, it was.
It was a little nerve-wracking, but we got through it. And we detailed a lot of what we're going to be doing on our workshop, which is happening May 12th to the 22nd. So if you haven't booked already, make sure you do that. But today we are going to talk about storms.
Yes.
So when we were on Pico, we pre-recorded some videos, and this was one of them.
There were a few questions I was getting to do with storms, the weather, the climate, temperatures, and so forth. So I remembered we had this footage, and actually this was filmed December 13. Actually, it was a storm that came in.
Was it the 13th?
Yeah, 2 days before. No, sorry.
December
December 11th, 2 days before we left to come back to Canada.
Yeah, because we came back on December 13th.
13, exactly. So it was a spur of the moment thing. The storm, we couldn't really film it during the intensity of the storm because it happened overnight.
Carlos was filming a little bit early in the morning, so it's dark.
Yeah.
And also with the wind and the waves, the audio, it's
choppy.
It's choppy.
It's choppy.
Yes.
And I'm not as good as Laura filming. That's the other reason. But I got some footage. It gives you an idea what a storm would be like coming in. Before we get into it, I'm going to just tell you the different types of storms that come through there, breaking it down during this, let's say, the summer, part of the year, and the winter, because they're a bit different. As you know, the hurricane season, June to November, everybody knows in the Caribbean and more of the southern part of Atlantic, you can get some really, really bad hurricanes. Not every year, but sometimes they hit pretty hard, as most of you out there have already seen. And once in a while, these hurricanes get caught up, right? Because a lot of the times the hurricanes stay down. But when they get caught up, I guess in the Gulf Stream, it can come all the way up through the Atlantic, and nothing else around except the Azores. So sometimes we get pretty banged up. But I think most of the time, they're depressions, they're just bad storms. In the winter, you can get what they would call cyclones, also different levels of that can bring in like
the storm
surge, in which you'll see a bit of that on this video.
And a storm surge is when the water levels go above the normal level.
Yeah, and again with the intensity of the tide. We were there for Gaston, I think was that one, and we saw pretty strong surge come all the way in. And this one had it as well, except we didn't get to film the intensity of it because it was overnight. Without these breakers and these protection that they've created now, especially where we were in Lage there in this seaside village, now there's more protection. And in the old days there wasn't. It was just waves, boats.
I don't know how they survived that, because it's pretty low lying where Lage is.
It's pretty low lying. Yeah. So anyways, let's get to the video. Afterwards, we can talk a little bit more about temperatures throughout the year and so forth. And let's get to the video.
Take it away.
Take it away. Good morning, guys. I actually got up a little bit early today. It's December 11th, and pounding all night. I mean, the weather turned a couple days ago, started getting worse. I think yesterday and last night got really bad, and got so bad that I actually, I left my car down in the usual parking spot, and some guys begging on the door, telling me to move it because the water might be coming over. And I'm like, wow, that hasn't happened in a while. I actually didn't think it was that bad, but from the looks of it, it could be. Heading down to the marina area of Lages here in Pico Island, Azores, and see how bad it is, if it's still as bad or if it's gotten better, because I can hear the pounding. I mean, during the night you hear it, and we're not far from the water, and it's like a washing machine, just the water turning and turning all around the village here. So let's take a look and see how it is. I don't know if you can hear the pounding of the waves still, but I can. It was high tide too. This is what they do when they think the water's going to get really rough. They board the doors up with this wood kind of doors, or for security. They're all boarded up just in case the water decides to come. We live on the coast, right on the coast, in the low-lying area of the island. This is what you have to do. This is one of the major villages here. Very historic, Lajes on Pico Island. Over 500 years old. This is the first place the explorers came on. Let's walk down to the edge here of this ramp. It's kind of wild out there. Crazy water, crazy waves, swells. But here, the water is very calm. It is a very protected marina. It's small, but they're even reinforcing it some more. There's a big job going on, probably for another year, just to make sure that when storms like this come, they don't come. These boats are protected in here. Let's look at the other side of the village here. I'm just noticing that the birds are chirping. I guess they're not too bothered by all this. Maybe that's a good sign. Yeah, let's hear some of the debris, and I guess those grasses came from the ocean here. It's dropped here with the waves. Water came all the way up here, all the way, for sure, overnight. Nature controls everything. Once again, if you can see that side, all the white salt in the air, a little fog there from the ocean. It's not calm anymore there. It's actually coming this way, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna come through here like I've seen it before. I think I gotta go back. Wow. Wonder if it's gonna reach this point. It just keeps coming, so you never know. Go to a higher area. I always feel like CNN here when we do a couple of these storm. Starting to reach here. Let's see if it makes it. I guess the tide's coming in too, maybe. Yeah, it's come. There was another storm here where the water was coming over to the road. Right now it's not as bad. I guess it could always get worse. I'm just going to head back now. We'll see how the day goes. If it intensifies, maybe we'll come down here and just film a little bit more. Just noticed, look at the pathway here to the windmill. Just built within a year. This is all a protected area. All these grasses, these needles love the salt. Basically, I think they survive on salt. A mix of salt and natural water that's under here as well. It's incredible how, doesn't matter how intense the nature is, these plants, these flowers, they survive. I think they got these boats out of the water just in time. Parked it here in the parking lot. I don't know if you guys can see the on this side a lot of the fog from the salt. It's the salt in the air, mist, like a mist all around the village here. I'm obviously filming in color, but sometimes with this gray sky and this dark mist. Looks like a black and white picture. Light of the day has come. And I think I'm gonna go grab a coffee back at the house. Making the circles, starting at that end and just coming along here. Oh boy. My dad used to tell me about some of the storms that hit here when he was younger, living here. Wow. Even a lot more than this, obviously, but I think a lot of the hurricanes are intensifying with the climate change, and it's not going to help anyways. So hopefully they can get, these politicians can get all on board and start doing something for the environment that will not let this climate get out of hand. God. So I'm going to end the video here. If between now and later something goes crazy, gets a lot worse, I might try to get some more footage. But for now, hope you enjoyed the video. Thumbs up, and feel free to send any comments like you usually do. And yeah, hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next video. Don't forget, Mother Nature is stronger than all of us. We need Mother Nature. Let's protect it.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. I went down a little bit later.
Yeah.
And when I was walking along the pier where the harbor is, a container was pushed by a wave that came in. So that was a little bit scary.
Yeah, which you saw in the video, I actually filmed it.
but I didn't film. I wasn't able to film the container actually moving because I was trying to move out of the way.
Yeah, nature is powerful, beautiful, scary, and like I said through the video, they got everything in place when these things happen. The people from the villages around the island, they prepare. You know, they got their take the boats out. They all have something to do, and I always notice they're always very good at it.
Yeah. So I mean, one of the things that I love about Pico, it's the storms. So you get different seasons in a day. But to explain some of the temperatures during the year. In the summertime, it can go from about 24 to 29,
yeah,
I would say.
I would say those are the average.
Yeah, and the winter time, about 12 to 17. Actually, today I think we checked and it was about 18 degrees.
All week is going to be, even all the way to the weekend, is going to be between 16, 18 degrees plus. We're talking about plus.
So I'm so jealous that we're not there right now.
No, we're in Canada here, just not far from Toronto, and today's miles about 4 or 5 We'll go back down tomorrow, but not too long ago it was minus 16.
Yeah,
right?
and
So,
tomorrow we're expecting some not nice weather.
yeah.
But so going back to the temperatures, so in the springtime it can be about 20 to 24, I would say.
I would say between 20 to 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then don't forget the Gulf Stream, which is the Azores has that Gulf Stream that comes up from the South Atlantic, comes up. It brings the water starts to heat up, warmer temperatures on the water, which when we go swimming, sometimes it's usually between, if you can get it around 24, it's actually perfect. You know? So,
it's really nice. And the other thing that is brought up during these storms is Portuguese man-o-war. So when you're walking along, it looks like these little plastic bags.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
Yeah, so you always have to be careful before jumping into the water to make sure there's none around.
I think it happens more in the beginning of the season, like April, May, June.
More of June.
It depends on the water too. I mean, they could come in at any time, but there's a time where a lot of them come in all at once, and sometimes it's not around the whole island. It could be parts of the island. Winter, people always ask about snow. Does it snow? Because in where we are, probably in all of the Azores of the 9 islands, obviously Pico is the highest altitude of Portugal, and when it gets below, closer to, like, let's say under 12 or 6, depending on where the wind's coming from, you can see the top of this volcano. It's like a peak, like Mount Fuji. Sometimes all the way. This year we saw it halfway down, just beautiful white, reminds you of Canada. Or people actually climbed it in the winter to go play in the snow, and it's pretty dramatic, right? So technically it does snow, but you'd have to go up a little bit higher to the highlands. Also be aware of the sun.
So when the sun goes behind the clouds, it does get a little bit cooler. That's why we say to layer your clothes, because when the sun comes out, the sun is quite intense, so you can easily get a sunburn.
Yeah, just think 3 seasons. That's possible in one day, either in the summer or in the winter. Come with layers, okay? And from what we've experienced, and other people that are there and love being there, they love the wind, they love the rain, they love the sun, they love to go swimming, and they know these things are going to happen. Keyword unpredictable. You could also be on one side of the island where it's nice and sunny, and then drive 20 minutes and it's not so sunny. So that's the Azores. That's nature for you, and I think that's what a lot of people appreciate about these islands, or these type of islands with this type of climate. It is subtropical.
I always get excited when there's a storm coming.
You do get excited. Like sometimes we know it's going to probably rain, but maybe it's more intense. And she's even happy. She's like, because it does seem...
I wouldn't be happy if anybody got hurt in these storms.
No.
But sometimes I'm a little disappointed when they forecast that we have a big storm coming and then nothing really happens.
No, and most of the time it's just rain that's coming. It's just a regular day with rain.
And when it rains, you get these beautiful waterfalls coming down.
Waterfalls, the not sunset, rainbows. It's beautiful. Come in the summer, and the spring, and the fall. I think I would say 80% of the people, this is when they come, okay? More and more coming in the winter, January, February, and March.
Yep.
And some people do go swimming in the winter almost every day, the old timers. But if you want to, you're good.
It's not just the old timers.
Not just the old timers.
We've seen younger people go swimming too in January.
They probably look at the old timers and they're still around. They're like 94, 95 doing the dip, so. The
only trouble with the unpredictability of the weather is when you're trying to do laundry, and I have mentioned this in other videos. Yeah. It's predicting when it's going to rain, because if you have your clothes out to dry, that's a problem.
Either way, if you get caught, clothes is dry, it rains, it's wet again, leave it out, it'll be dry soon enough.
Or you have to get a dryer.
Yeah, but we just hope this video, kind of what we're discussing, the information we're giving, just gives you a little bit of an idea what it's like being in the Azores, okay? Aside from sometimes watching our videos, we don't touch on weather all the time. So because we found that footage, I think you could get an idea of what a storm could be like, and then based on our information, temperature and climate. But if you have any questions, you can always email or comment. Right?
Yes, definitely.
And once again, thank you for tuning in to the last couple of videos. And for the live stream, it was very good to respond. And we've already booked quite a few people. So
yeah, so if we're gonna link that down below in the description, a couple of videos that are pertaining to the workshop. And again, yeah, if you have any questions, let us know. And we will see you guys in the next video. You know what to do. Please like, because it does help our channel grow.
Absolutely.
And subscribe, and we will see you guys next week.
All right.
Ciao.
See ya. You know, they go swimming in these special swimming pools that have
What do they have?
a lot of people come to shit. Okay.